Hey everybody, and welcome to Binder Minder. And well, I've been putting it off for at least 3 weeks, but I need to do a mail day. I've just got tons of stuff sitting here, and yeah, if you've watched our mail days before, it's a combination of stuff that are going to be for my collections and stuff for decks. Every once in a while, there's something that I see. I'm like, man, that's such a good deal. I should pick it up. But any of the cards that come in, that's where they go. That said, before we dive into this, a friend of mine did get me 2 packs of Lorwyn play boosters and send them over to me as a surprise. And I'm going to have my wife open those up on another video, which I've already recorded. But we couldn't wait. We had to open them up. So she opened those up. I'll put that video here. You'll get to see that, and then we'll be right back.
Left or right?
You tell me. Nails look cool.
How does one open these? Hey. Clearly, that might not have been the way. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it's just this stupid way. Oh, did these have pull tabs?
I don't think the
Nope.
play boosters do.
Dream Harvest. 6 commands. Oh, it's one of my favorite planes. Rare. Uncommon. Land. It's happy better way of opening these things. Or not. I'm sure there's like pull tab. No. Sure. Lid open.
Doesn't want you to get in because there's good stuff inside.
Hello,
Nova.
child. Go. Oh. Keep out.
Wrong stack.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Steam
steam
vents.
vents. What's that?
Kirill, a tentative first year. Omni Changeling, and a mountain. Where? Fix this.
Well, steam vents pull, that's not bad. The Dream Harvest, I don't think that's really big. I know the 6 command isn't very good. But steam vents, good pull. It's kind of weird. So Steam Vents is the best of the Shocklands from this set, but while we've had good luck, I keep pulling Steam Vents to the point where I actually had to go out and buy a bunch of other cards because I didn't pull most of the other ones. I pulled just Steam Vents after Steam Vents. So anyhow, I'm not going to do like a big recap or anything like that. Instead, so we got 4 cards here. We'll keep it simple. Well, the rares are the only ones that are going to have any values, so we'll go ahead and put the value for this here. Dream Harvest, put that right there. With the cats playing in the background. Attendant First Year right there. And then, of course, Steam Vents is going to be the big one. Put that price right there. And then our total, I'll just hold it right here. Was that good? It's probably about the same price as Steam Vents, but we'll see. All right. So if I remember correctly, we did pretty well. We got a Steam Vents at least. You know, no huge bangers or anything, but you can't complain when you get a Steam Vents. Steam Vents is a good card. Shocklands in general are good cards. As much as a lot of people I play with, even my wife included, sometimes just they're like, why would I want something that's going to hurt me? Especially when you're playing Commander. 40 life is 40 life. You can do a lot of Shocklands, you know, for 40 life. Anyhow, we're going to dive into this. So the short version of everything, and I won't reach over here. I have been building. I've been building a whole bunch of decks. Basically, long story short, I decided that I was just going to go ahead and I was going to print some proxies for some expensive cards. That way, I can clear out a whole backlog of decks. So, like, whenever a set comes out, I look through the stuff and I'm like, is there anything I want to build? What would be fun to play? And I always get excited about 1 or 2 decks. And then, of course, we have all the decks that, you know, like Heir Apparent, this is a Heir Apparent deck right here. Any of those kind of decks, I've just got a bunch of those that I've brewed up months. Some of these more than a year and a half. Some of them, I think, 2 years. This Iron Man, I've been working on finishing this thing up forever. Iron Man was the opposite. So these are all, I'm using the proxies for the expensive stuff, and I'm buying all the other cards, anything under like $2 or $3. And then if I like the deck, I'll go back in and I'll fill in the gaps with the expensive cards, right? But Iron Man and this Persistent Petitioners, those decks have, I think this might have proxies, but Iron Man does not have any proxies. I've actually been working on this since that Iron Man card came out. It's just a really expensive deck filled with a whole bunch of secret layers, all that kind of stuff, and because of that, I didn't want to spend, I didn't want to spend it all at once. I've been kind of spreading it out, buying a card here and there. In fact, I know for a fact the last card I need is in this pile here. So before I waste too much time, I'm just get this stuff out of the way, and we'll start digging through all these cards. I'm just going to make a stack of cards that are going to be for decks. I'm going to make a stack of cards that are going to be for binders. The deck stuff, after the video, I'll get all that sorted out, put it in with the decks. And then the binder stuff, I'll get everything scanned in. And I may or may not, depending on how long this video goes, I may or may not dig the binders out and we'll put them all in there. So hopefully I do that, but if this goes long, I might not. So anyhow, we'll start things off. You got Lorwyn. So Lorwyn came out. We opened up a whole bunch of it. You guys have seen most of that as of recording this. But I wanted to get a whole complete set of the showcase, and I wanted a complete set of the dual-sided. At least I wasn't going to do the dual-sided including the Shocklands, but at least all of the legendaries that they had. And so I had to pick up some of those, and I'm still ordering some. I haven't picked them all up yet, but this is kind of the start of that. I also the Shocklands were just a great deal. They were selling way less than I expected them to be, and because of that, I did pick up a few, especially these borderless ones. I picked up a few cheap ones. So, yeah. Anyhow, so we got Lava Leaper, we have Taster of Wares, we got Sig's Command, and then we have that nice Hollowed Fountain, which I did not pull both sides. We got Lorwyn side, we got the Dark, and I'm drawing a blank. So this is for a deck, Tristani, Selesnia's Voice. Wow, it's been a while. This one is actually taking a while to get. This is, I believe, for my big butt deck. Yep, equal to toughness. Let's see what else we got. So we got some tokens. Tokens are necessary for some of the decks. Another land. Contention's Plan. That's a proliferate. So I've got a stun deck. That's probably on that. Deny the Witch. Spear of Helioid. This one's always so hard to get because it's not been reprinted. I'd love to see this get reprinted into like a secret lair or something. It's actually a pretty good card for anything that's in white. I think it's not expensive. You know, it does give you a banner effect, and then you can pay 3 mana, destroy a target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. So if somebody's messing with you, you can use this enchantment artifact as a bit of a threat. It's not the best card, right? But it is a good card. Got a Sid. I have not completed the Sids, but I have one more to order. I'm almost there. Bident of Thassa and Unbreakable Formation. So let me get these sorted real quick. This is going to go into that pile. These are all deck stuff. I guess this is the other pile. All right. Kinsgar Century. I like this card, to be honest. I ordered all of these because I was looking at this card and I was like, I think this is going to go up eventually. It's 2 mana, 2/2. First strike, lifelink, and whenever this creature attacks, you may put a creature card with mana value X or less from your hand into the battlefield tapped and attacking, where X is the number of attacking creatures you control. I know I'm going to use this in a Kithkin deck that I've been brewing, but I can really see this going into a lot of other decks, especially like my Cats deck where it goes wide. But we'll see. But this is one of those. I don't do specs normally or anything like that. But I was like, I think this is going to go up in price eventually, and I think I'm going to use it in at least 2 decks. So I went ahead and picked up 2. I don't know if I have it for the collection or not, but we're going to put those there. And then I think in that order, I just ordered a stack of cards that they were selling these things so cheap that for my proxies, so I use sticker paper and I print on the sticker and then I just put it on the cards. That way they look and feel a little bit more like cards, or a little thicker. And these are just so cheap that I was like, I could just throw a few more on there and I'll have nice cheap proxies, because believe it or not, the amount I've been printing is starting to run out of. I didn't want to use up all my basic lands, so these were so cheap that why not? Alright, what else we got here? Clock spinning. This right here, choose a counter or target permanent suspended card, remove that counter. So this is going to be probably in that stunning deck. Hypnotic Sprite. In addition to all these, and somewhere in there is a fairy deck. Clearwater Goblet. The Lord of Atlantis. This is part of our special guest collection. So I actually am buying cards actively for the special guest stuff. And I have a focus here soon. I want to start getting the special guests because there's 20 of them from Lorwyn. But I'm also hoping to finish up all my Lost Caverns of Ixalan stuff, because I still have some of those. I'm going to kind of like start on the outsides, the current set and the original set, and work my way back in. More cards for decks, and then Sid, and more cards for decks. Alright, Bjorn, Stormhammer Fracture, borrowing 100,000 arrows. This is another one of those cards for that stun deck. Smile at Death, Fear of Sleep Paralysis. Those are all for decks. Like I said, a majority of these are going to be for decks. So it's going to be fun for me sorting all these out. And frankly, I'm sure you noticed, but my 2 bundle boxes here are full. I'm actually going to have to get a 3rd bundle box, or I'm going to have to finish the deck, which I like I said, I think the Iron Man deck's done. Persistent Petitioners, I think, is done too. So Imperial Plate, and then this is actually the token number 10 night card. This is the last one my wife needed for her Final Fantasy collection. So this is the official last piece for what she had hoped to get in her Final Fantasy stuff. So we got Port Town, Tainted Isle, another Tainted Isle. This is just one of those cards where anything that's blue-black, I'm using. It's a cheap land. It does the job. And Mage Ring Network, that's another one for the decks. Sunken Hollow, Fairy Formation, Edgewalker, and Void Wren, all for decks. These are a few of the ones that, like, the last cards I needed, like this Edgewalker and stuff. I think I'm down to like 3 cards for all these decks, 3 cards I still need to find. Except for this deck. This deck is going to be like the replacement for my Iron Man, where I've been slowly ordering cards for it. This one right here, the etched foil deck, is going to be the same way. It's going to take a while. But I did order the Commander and 2 other cards for that. Rogue's Passage. This is one of those, if Watsy's watching, can we get a special guest or something? Some sort of cool looking Rogue's Passage, maybe some secret lairs. I know it's not an expensive card and people will be upset about it, but I'd love to have a better looking Rogue's Passage. Preferably just in a set, right? I'd love to get a nice borderless version. I don't know why we didn't end up with it in Edge of Eternities, but yeah, it's just a good card, you know? I mean, it is 4 mana, it's expensive to tap it and to have a creature not be blocked, but how often do you sometimes just need to, you know, get damage through to win a game? Reliquary Tower, 2 of those are always pretty useful.
What you doing?
I was just recording the
Sorry.
mail day. No, you're fine. I heard you coming.
Okay.
That's why I stopped and. Bless you.
Okay.
I'll get through as fast as I can,
No, you're fine.
and then like at some point I have to record. Well, depending on how long this takes, I'll have to record the stuff in the binder. But I did get your last Final Fantasy card here. I got your Knight card sitting here, that token.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun when the final card that goes in it. Alright, so we got in this one, we can see a Nature's Lore sitting on top. Nature's Lore, another Nature's Lore. I had a couple decks that needed Nature's Lore. This Hellkite Tyrant, by the way, if you need a Hellkite Tyrant, this version right here from Final Fantasy is like $2, and all the other ones are like $6 or $7. And I actually think the art looks pretty cool. So pick it up while you can, because this is actually from one of the Final Fantasy decks. And, right now there's still a lot of those available for people to buy and to break down and sell. But that's not always going to be the case. So pick one up while they're cheap if you need one or think you're going to need one. Justicar's Portal. Here, I left these in. I didn't even take the tape off this one. So this one definitely has a monkey card in it. But I don't know what else is in here, so it's got this orangutan sitting on the front. I'm not a fan of when people tape these packs, or tape their top loaders, but alright, let's get this all off of there. So the orangutan for the deck, and then this is Axis of Morality. It's got another piece of tape on it. Man. Alright, another top loader here, same person. You can see they were nice. They did put paper under the tape so that it's not going to damage the stuff. And then I think, from what I could tell on that last one, they actually taped the cards, the packs inside of it with little pull tabs to make it easier to pull them out. Which, in theory, would be nice, but I've gotten so used to opening up regular top loaders that this kind of just makes it harder. There's no extra tape on this one, at least. So this is the old Balaged Recovery. This is one of those few cards for these decks that is not a cheaper card. It's not expensive, but it's not cheap. And that's because it's dual-sided, and I did not want to print a dual-sided card. You got Mystic Sanctuary here, and there's the second one right here. Mystic Sanctuary is one of those cards where if you're playing blue a lot, I mean, at least I use it quite a bit. It's a cheap card. It doesn't enter tapped, but often you have more than three or more islands, and it does come in untapped. And then if it enters untapped, you may put a target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard into your library. So anytime later in the game, that's a pretty good landing to pull. What you doing? Playing your game?
No, stop.
No, you're fine.
I was just trying to be really quiet.
All right, so got a soul ring for one of the decks, and then this regular framed foil hollowed fountain. Like I said before, these shocklands are from Lorwyn currently, because of how many have hit the market, are still cheap. But when I bought this, they were really cheap. So like this foil one, I got it for $5. $5 for a shockland is a great deal, especially for a foil one. And if I'm not being lazy when I go to edit this, I might even throw the current price up there. And it's gone up, but it's still not where the other ones are, in fact. So we'll do the current price, and then we'll do the price for a foil, similar version of Hollow Fountain from another set. All right, so this one goes for the special guest collection. Like I said, I did pick up a couple special guests, and this one's pretty exciting. This is from Edge of Eternities. This is Sliver Overlord. Really hoped to have pulled this one when we opened that up, and we didn't, but it's such a cool looking card. So a little bit more of the same here. So Sapling Nursery, this is just for the Lorwyn Showcase collection there. And then this is the Borderless Blood Crypt. Like I said, I ordered a few to make sure I had each of the Borderless versions. And then I also got Door of Destinies. I got this one in foil, and I get a good price on this one. Door of Destiny, so like if you do typo decks, which we do all the time, this is a great typo card, and this card has never had a borderless or special artwork done. So at least when the set first launched, and I'm sure it's gone up in price a little bit, but these were really cheap at that time, and I suspect that these are not going to continue to be cheap forever, because Door of Destinies itself, I got this for like $4 less than I did for the regular version of it I bought last time. So can't complain about that, and I imagine they're going to get more expensive. Archmage Emeritus in the foil. This one's got a little bit of a Pringle going on there. I'm not a fan of it, but I believe I got this cheaper than the regular one. I wasn't really paying for the foil. That's going in a deck, and then this card. This card is taking forever to get. This is the last card for the Iron Man deck. This is Vidalcan Archmage, and we actually pulled this from a Jumpstart pack. My wife pulled it from a Jumpstart pack a while back, and we just cannot find the original that card. It's vanished or something. So I finally ordered it. I saved it for last, thinking maybe we'd find it, but we didn't. And I'll tell you, I was staring at this thing, and it just looks like I can't tell. It looks to me almost blurry. Like I actually had to check. I actually got the microscope out and double check to make sure this was a real card when it came in, because I did not think it was real. I thought for sure this was a fake. It just looked, I don't know, like watercolors, like specifically around the text up here, just kind of like runny. Anyhow, Lux Cannon, Ripples of Potential is for decks. Malkin Keen-Eyed Navigator, this is another special guest. Deep Glow State, Darksteel Reactor, those are for decks. And I did get this Eldrazi, not a Eldrazi spawn, but a regular Eldrazi token. This is for a deck I've got as well that I didn't have token for. And that one actually was kind of hard to find, believe it or not. All right, Psychosis Crawler from March of the Machine Commander. That's for a deck. Thought Vessel, I believe. So I've got two of them here. Got another one right here. I think I ordered these, and it was one of the situations where I needed one, and I was like, man, every time I need one of these things, I just never have one. And I got a good deal on them, so I picked up the two. Blue Sun Zenith, also for a deck. Feels like, nope, there's no other card under it. Ultimate Magic Meteor from Final Fantasy. For a deck, Fairy Trickery. Disruptor of Currents, the Lorwyn Showcase. That's for the Lorwyn Showcase collection. Razortide Bridge for a deck. It's City Progress for a deck, and another Port Town for a deck. One thing is for sure, when I build my decks and stuff, if it has a specific color, there's definitely, as far as lands go, I have some standard default lands that I go to quite often. Unless it's going to be an expensive deck or like extremely cheap, you'll see a lot of these kind of decks. A lot of these. So, Arcane Signet for a deck. Command Tower. This is a Bloomburrow one. I haven't actually had one of these except for from the decks themselves, which my wife's got. Inexorable Tide, Observe Stasis, Riku, Resourceful Guardian, and Summon Valifor from Final Fantasy. A few Final Fantasy cards in there. These are all for my Stun deck, which has a Final Fantasy commander and uses quite a few Final Fantasy cards. So like I said before, a lot of times the set comes out and I'm like, I really want to build and utilize some of these cards. And I try to keep things a little bit themed, even if it's not completely. And that's a good example of that. All right, this is another special guest. Thrasis Triton Hero. Actually, this is, so when I've never built a Merfolk deck. My wife has one, and a few friends have them, but I toyed around with brewing one, and this is the commander that I was using when I toyed around. But I've never finished it, and since everybody has one, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. That said, that is for the special guest collection. All right. That's cool looking. Sleeve. I don't know what that's from. I mean, it's magic, but does it get wrong? I think maybe. All right. Flutterwing Nuisance and foil for the showcase collection. And then another borderless hollowed fountain. Lorwyn, Shadowmoor. What else we got here? Bridget's Command. So I think these. So I had these in a plastic sleeve, and one of my cats got up here and figured out she loves to chew on plastic, and I was really worried she was going to tear up the cards. So there's no plastic in these. Picked these all up for almost nothing at our game store. They just happen to have these, just like I said, chipping away at that Lorwyn showcase. And then this is a big old stack of cards for decks. Sent from Avernus, Silkguard, another one for the foil etch thing, Bloodline Pretender, and then these swamps. I ordered 14 of these. It's because they're from Modern Horizons 2. I swear, I looked up the foil etch version of these swamps. So Modern Horizons 2 has a foil etch swamp, and I wanted to complete the foil etch lands needed for that foil etch deck. And so I got all these in here because I was like, man, I got such a good deal. They're so cheap. And they came in and I did not get the right ones. These are the regular ones. And I double checked. I did not order it. It was my fault. So yeah, whole bunch of basic lands that will probably end up being proxies. And then special guest, Arid Mesa. Looks awesome. Alright, what's in this thing? Oh, that's right, I forgot about these. So we got the Stirring Wildwood. This is for the Edge of Eternity Stellar Sights. And with this order right here, I was able to, I got a great deal on this promo Command Tower, which I really like. They keep doing these cool ones for promos, and I just want a couple sets to have Command Towers like this in the pack so that we can pull some cool ones. And, I know they did Commander Masters and a nice one, but they're staples. I wish we would see them more often. And then this Waste, this Dragon-Eyed Waste, I've been looking for this forever, and when I was ordering this person just happened to have this really cheap. So I got a great deal on this, and I got the Waste. So both of those are going to go into collection. The Waste, I like, someday I'm going to build a colorless deck, and I wanted to have some kind of a variety, and so I've been watching for this, but it's never popped up. It's gotten cheap, thankfully, but just nobody ever has it. And then the last thing I've got is this stack of cards here. These are all for decks too. Didn't Stay Please, Buster Squall, Fuel for the Cause. And I got a couple tokens, a Fairy Rogue token. I think this has got it's got a Thopter on the back. Monstrosity of the Lake, Tentacle, I believe that goes with that one even. Oka, Traveling Merchant. I'm not even going to try to say that one. It's a Phyrexian Horror though. And then this insect here is actually an ooze token. I needed a regular ooze token for a deck. And then Paladin class enchantment. So, like I said before, a majority of these, as you can see, are for these decks I've got sitting here. So I'm going to have to go through all these here in a second. These are all things that well, half of them were a mistake. These right here, they were just pennies that I can add on to another order. And then I've got a few things that I need to scan, get sleeved up, and get ready to put in my binder. So I'll get all that done. Yeah, I'll get all that done, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, got the binders out. I still haven't really got the new camera mount adjusted right for this, but we'll start off with my wife's fantasy collection. I just have that one token. I'll make sure we get that in there. It goes all the way to the back here. Like I said, this is the last card she needed to complete everything she was trying to collect. So all finished up there, and we'll switch binders. We'll be back. All right, I'm back. I did spend a little time adjusting the arm. So this binder, I don't know what else it's got in the back here, but it does have our special guest stuff here in the front. So I gotta find that stack of special guest cards, and we'll start there. So we got a few. Lord of Atlantis. This is gonna be near the front. In fact, it is the first card. Malcolm Keen, Eyed Navigator, is also right here, card number 2. So at least one on this page, and this Pitless Plunderer, I'm pretty sure, it's not even on my list because I think my wife's got the card. We just need to move some of her stuff over here with her little, we were going to do tags, jokingly saying, you know, from the collection of, like a library or a museum would have. But I got Thrasis, Titan Hero. That's the next one on the list. Like I said, I was working my way through the Lost Caverns of Ixalan stuff. So we got that. And then her Mana Vault or Mana Crypt will be the one that completes that set, I believe. So next up, I'll start diving into Murders of Karloff Manor and stuff like that. As far as stuff from this end, I actually have this Drown in the Loch in a deck. But anyhow, I do wish I would have bought the Escape Shift though. You see, it's even here when I printed the label, it says $25. That's a $60-some card now. And I printed the label. I think it was even cheaper before that. So, but you know, sometimes that's how it works. Sometimes you go up, sometimes they go down. All right, so all these are going to go towards the end though. So we got Edge of Eternity stuff. We got Silver Overlord. This is one of 2. I need to finish the set of these, I believe. This is number 128. So there's 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So apparently I need more than 3. Or 2, because, yeah, there's a few there. We got Arid Mesa. This is number 109. You can't hardly see it on the camera, so I'll move this over. It's going to be on this side. And it'll be before this marsh flats there. And that Chrome Mox has gone up $20 since I printed that too. And then the last one is the Doors Destinies. This is from Lorwyn. And I have Lorwyn special guest to put in here still, I think, because we have more than one. But that's number 143 or 142, 143, 44, 45, and 46. So we'll put this in there. And at some point, I'll dig the rest of this out because even though I got everything organized, I haven't actually put them up in my storage yet. So when I do that, I'll pull the special guests out, and they'll end up in here. Let's see if there's anything else we need. I do have one Edge of Eternity's card here. Stirring Wildwood. Make sure it's not back here. I don't see it. There it is. Totally on this side. And I don't know if there's anything else that I've got here that needs to go in here. Yeah. Oh, that's right. SIDS. We got SIDS to put in here. And I gotta make room for SIDS. So move this Relentless Rats. And move this Tempest Hawk. And we'll slide these in. I'll go through and get these reorganized at some point. I know that there's room past here. There's some open areas. So I can move things over at some point. Since we built or started building some of the decks that filled up the space. So I'll also put the Relentless Rat here. Yeah. I'm going to switch binders, so we'll be right back. Alright. I believe this one is where I put the Lorwyn cards. There we go. So we got the borderless, dual-sided cards, borderless elementals, which right now there's just one in here. And we got all the showcase cards. So we'll start going through these things. 42. And we'll put this hollow fountain down here for now. I don't know that I even made room for those or not. So 6 commands, 342, 315, 342 right here. Taster of Wares. Let's see, do I have anything else in the 342 range? 328, 325, and 332. So 332 is going to go right here. And then we have 325. That's going to go, so you can see, that's going to go next to the Celestial Reunion. And 328 is going to go on the other side of Mutable Explorer. Taster of Wares is 314, 318, so that'll probably be the next page. Move it over again so you can see. So 318 is going to go next to Huxing Squelcher. Taster of Wares is 314, so it's going to go right here. And then 303, 304. I guess I already had a Fluttering Nuisance. Oh, it's already in here. Interesting. Disruptor of Currents is 303. Kinscar's Century is 300, and this is one of the ones I thought I might already have, but I wasn't sure. But it goes right here. Kin Binding is 299. That's going to go right there. And that's what I've got for it so far, except for those, except for that hollow fountain. So I guess I'll just go ahead and put the hollow fountain right here. I gotta, like I said, I know I made room for all these things here, but I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to do the borderless Shocklands. So got that there, and we'll switch binders. We'll be back. Oh, no, sorry. There's a Blood Crypt here. So the Blood Crypt, and then this needs to go in my land binder. Now we'll switch binders. All right. For the land binder, I need that. I just got to put these 3 up. So I got a white-blue dual land. White-blue. Goes right there. In fact, I'll put it over here because there's already 2 hollow fountains right there. And then I've got the wastes. So we'll drop the move this over so you can see. We'll drop this waste in there, and then we're going to go back towards the beginning for this command tower. I've got a spot for it. I'll move this Mox Jasper back. There we go. So that's all put up and good to go. Appreciate you guys watching, especially if you've stayed watching this long, because this has been long and, in my opinion, pretty boring. But this is Binder Minder. As always, thanks for watching. To put us in your binder like I've been doing here, just like and subscribe, ring the bell to be notified. And you can catch us on our social media, which is in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye.